So I was looking at, I know I had seen you post about Matthew Perry, and I had actually asked a question, but then I went and I was like, let me just look my damn self. And I realized he's a Leo. He doesn't have a planetary ruling spread. So I was looking for the Jack of Hearts because there were rumors that he may have taken his own life, but I don't think he did. I think it was drugs and he overdosed because the Jack of Spades is fucking everywhere. So there's that.
And hold on, yeah. So I may be able to screenshot it and show it. Let me see.
I mean, when you look at like from compared to the year he's in and the week that it happened in, it's incredible. And then I'm in a bunch of astrology groups and they were breaking down his chart. I'm like, wow, that's it. Yeah, there it is. So,
so, so what card is he again?
7 of clubs, which even makes a lot more sense too with the probably the swings he went through mentally. Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hello, Angelo. So we're gonna look at the 7 of clubs. No, this week is the 5 of spades, and one reason it's kind of important also looking at or as far as like this topic, because the ace of spades, 5 of spades, and 9 of spades is, we say it all the time, like as far as, yeah, we don't want to say like, yeah, death or something's gonna happen. Like I never really say or give a reading, which well, I'm not gonna say that. You'll say there's going to be a death and rebirth, maybe, or there's particular changes that may take place. The ace of spades is one of those cards that would go through a transformation or a change, and you won't recognize the difference. So sometimes the death and rebirth is who you are, maybe personally, going through these particular changes. But then also there is the ace of spades as far as a physical death, possibly, or accident that may happen. Especially like accidents, right? And it has a 5 of spades. And Saturn, right? Mars. I'm sorry, the five
Mark.
of Mars for the ace of spades. So, that can be someone not paying attention, traveling, and going through particular changes. And, Mars can be something physical, it can be a bruise, getting hit upside the head or something, you know. So the 5 of spades is maybe a physical change, or maybe you traveling somewhere in a distance in some type of way, right? So
Yeah, change in your body. You could, want to improve your health, or you can, experience a very, significant change in your health too with that 5 of spades. That 5 of spades is like a very interesting, very, very powerful energy, when you think about it and how it's like you're going to change whether you like it or not. You kind of have to be able to go with the flow with that one. I mean, with all of them. And today itself was a 5 of diamonds day too. So double five, really.
with Saturn, Neptune, which is also, based on the physical. The fives actually is the body and the physical as well, So anytime you look into the five, it's something that's taking place maybe on the physical form within your health. So that's another key for the fives in itself, outside of just the 5 of spades being around health, but all fives, you want to look at anything physically that may change you, especially Neptune, Saturn. You want to look at your mental health. I think what I was talking about, I think Edgar Casey, if I'm not mistaken, was like a psychic. So someone may have very intuitive abilities and capabilities as well, but maybe not following your intuition and being distracted, or not being trusting into yourself. Because one thing about the 5 of spades is pushed by a 7 of diamonds, which sometimes has a little bit of fear, maybe mentality. So there could be some mistrust or misjudgment that can take place as well. And I'm looking at, so which spread were you looking at for him for the 7 of clubs?
Age 54,
Age.
right? That's the plate he's on. So you can go to that. Um, and what I found intriguing is he's in his Venus period with the 5 of Hearts and the 9 of Hearts. So really, when you think about it at its highest, wanting to be free, letting go, right? Emotion, probably a very powerful emotional energy, maybe. And if you look at that from the opposite side of it, it could have been a lot of changes and maybe holding on, when you think about the 9 of Hearts, if you're not willing to let go, and very well possibly could have been his heart giving out, you know what I mean? Kind of his heart even just letting go. But I do believe it was probably influenced by, drugs, because in his Jupiter period, he had the 6 of Diamonds supported by the Jack of Spades. And if you go into the weekly spread, that this transpired in, he was displacing the 6 of Diamonds. And I knew it was there. The Jack of Spades was his cosmic lesson in the week that it happened. And I have seen the Jack of Spades is, it's typically where can be drugs involved, escapism, the pill. A lot of times you'll see it with pills or just anything, illicit, I guess you could say, the needing to escape. And like I said, the fact that he was in the Venus period with the 5 of Hearts and the 9 of Hearts, and then this happening in a 6 of Diamonds week, and he is also displacing the 6 of Clubs for the year. So you see that 6 energy. Sometimes it's time.
Okay, so he's done there. I was like, where's he at? He's down there at the bottom. So this is his weekly spread. Let me see if I may be able to adjust it.
Oh, in the week? Well, in the week, he's on plate. Hold on, give me a second. For the week, he's sitting in the house of the 6 of Diamonds. So he would be sitting Jupiter, Mercury.
The weekly, he's 54. Or was that? Do you know which plate it was?
Yeah, for the year he's 54. Give me a second, and I'll tell you the plate that he's on for the week. The 6 of Clubs sits in the Sun. Hold on. There it is. Take a second. Hold on. Yeah, plate 37 for the week.
So this is his yearly now. And what Jimmy was speaking about was he's sitting in Saturn Neptune. And with Saturn Neptune,
Neptune, Saturn.
yeah, the Neptune Saturn. The transformation for that would be the Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
sometimes people just want to go. That's crazy.
yeah, which what we've been saying is with the death and rebirth card as well.
Mm-hmm.
Significators of death and rebirth. And the only thing that you can't see on the screen is the Jack of Clubs would be Mercury, Mars, 6 of Diamonds, and the Sun, which is Jupiter.
And the long range card is the 9 of Clubs.
Is Saturn. And the 3 of Diamonds would be the Ace of Spades would actually be the Moon card. You may not be able to see because in the top left hand corner, the Ace of Spades would be his Moon card.
Oh yeah, the transformation is the 2 of Diamonds.
Yeah, and the transformation is the 2 of Diamonds.
And the King of Spades is Saturn too.
And the King of Spades is Saturn. So spades are usually looking at your health. As we were saying, the Ace of Spades is which he has the Ace of Spades in the moon position for his yearly. But looking at this, what would you have said if you had to give a reading before? What would you have said about the Ace of Spades and the moon for if you was to give a
If
reading?
I was given, if I had to look at his spread and give it a reading, prior to this, you know, that Jack of Spades to me is, and the fact that the Seven of Spades is also the vertical Uranus to this spread, and the Ace of Spades being in that moon position. Yeah, I mean, I would have probably leaned towards, again. And what's interesting too is he's displacing the Six of Clubs, and the Six of Clubs transforms into the Ace of Spades.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there's that too. So there's so many factors, right? And it's the fact that he was sitting in the Six of Clubs, trusting the intuition, really being able to tap in. But again, there's so many cards, like the Five of Hearts with the Nine of Hearts here too, in the period that he's in, experiencing any like disappointment or loss, and the fact that he was sitting in a six, where you can get stuck. But as you see with the long range card being the Nine of Clubs, being able to let go, and almost like it could have gone probably either way, right? He could have, rebirth, like taken responsibility and really put in the work, because the Ten of Spades is the Pluto card, and one with your higher self, Ten of Spades, right? Really having to look into you and really want to probably fight to even be here, but at the same time, maybe he didn't want to, and almost letting go, maybe even seeing healing in an actual death and an opportunity to be reborn, in a different space or time. Yeah, because that Ace of Spades in the moon, and the fact that he has the Ten of Spades in Pluto again, the having to really put in a lot of work within himself. And a lot of times that Six of Clubs, or any of the sixes, again, it starts at the top and goes back down and into yourself. And a lot of times I talk about how it's hard to kind of face yourself. That is the dark night of the soul that we talk about a lot. And having to take responsibility and accountability for your actions and the things that you've done. And a lot of times it's a hard pill to swallow for people, Do I think he meant to, like, maybe not. I really do believe his heart, that's the thing. I had a friend of mine, a really, really good friend of mine, who, she went through a lot of stuff with drinking, right? She actually was a severe alcoholic, and this was after, like, I had moved away. We didn't live in the same area. We still kept in contact, but I did not know the severity of her drinking, like how bad it was. And I started to figure it out as the more and more we would talk and be on the phone with her in the morning. And it's like 10 a.m. and she sounds like she is three sheets to the wind. Like, and I'm like, yo. And according to her husband at the time, like, she was drinking like hardcore, liquor, and was hiding it. She'd gone to rehab like 5 times. And even prior to her drinking, she ended up having a heart, like something was happening with her heart. And then she ended up, like, I think because she couldn't work and do what she wanted to do, like, she just started to drink, and it just went to the extreme. Anyways, her heart ended up, like, that was what happened. Like, I think all the drinking, stopping, and really probably never really actually stopping, she died of a heart attack, like, in the morning, and actually a crazy thing is I went back into her spread, and she had the Ace of Spades as like her Mercury card. I can't remember if it was for the day that she passed or like that 52-day period, which led me to believe that she passed quickly, right? Because the Ace of Spades and Mercury is quick. So she didn't suffer. And that led me to believe that probably her heart, she had a heart attack. And it's just all the wear and tear, the drugs, the drinking, the partying. She didn't, she wasn't in the best shape of her life. And she was only 40, maybe 43, 40. She was young,
Mm.
you know, so that I think too, the heart, you know, after all the, like, people don't take into consideration the things that you've done, especially when you were younger, when your body was supposed to be its strongest. And now you're in your 50s or 40s and you're struggling, you know. And that's why that year 52 is so critical, because you see people pass at this, you know, in those right, really before their second Saturn return, because they hadn't been responsible with taking care of their bodies,
Mm.
you know. And he had the King of Spades and Saturn this year too, so
Oh, wow.
because he's sitting in the house of the Six of Clubs.
Yeah, yeah. Again, Saturn and space are denoting to your health, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just adaptations, you know. Looking at going to the doctor. You was talking about the Jack of Spades, which is the physician. A lot of times, whenever you're looking at the cards um, or anything. So, and then also, I was thinking about the Three of Spades and the Jack of Spades are connected. I don't know if we talked about that during
Mm-hmm.
Space Week, but yeah, if you go back and look at the Three of Spades, we we may have been talking about health, you know, and changes within the health, and also confusion that may take place that happen within your health. So whenever you're looking at the Three of Spades, you also have to look at the Jack of Spades, because that's what transforms into the Three of Spades is the Jack of Spades, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that can be an incompetent physician or someone that may not know too much, or they can be dealing with medication or meds, you know, someone just dealing or could overdose in some type of way as well. And then we all know like that Jupiter Neptune is just add on top of that of being associated with that Jack of Spades, right? That Six of Clubs transforming into the Ace of Spades, and Gina was talking about health. So the Six of Clubs, I'm sorry, with the Six of Clubs. So things coming out as far as your health changes, you know, things maybe being revealed. I know the Jack of Diamonds can have the issue of lingering health issues or problems, you know, that may be discovered or that may need to change, that comes from being in that Six of Clubs and Neptune, or displacing the Six of Clubs. So definitely, like you said, around health. And then also on top of that, that position is challenged by the Eight of Spades, you know, which is physically working out. Yesterday was a Six of Diamonds day. I don't know, we spoke about it during the Six of Diamonds week. Oh, the four spades as well. The four spades has the Eight of Spades Mars. So last week I don't think we really touched on that either. But the four spades also another health card, right? Work and satisfaction and health. It has the Eight of Spades and Mars. So a lot of four spades is are going to want to work out, or they can be going to like the NFL, or going to some type of sports, or working out. You know, so that can donate you taking care of yourself and taking care of your health, or recovering. You know, so a lot of fours is dealing with health recovery or health issues. Those cards as a whole, and you can see that in the four spades because it has that Eight of Spades. So here the Seven of Clubs is challenged by the Eight of Spades, and it has an Eight of Spades pushing it. Okay, and then it has an Ace of Spades in the Moon, as you know, speaking about. So, and as we were saying, the reason we kind of brought up the Ace of Spades because it has the Five of Spades in Mars. So there are going to be things that you need to change, as Gina was saying, and with her example, that they did not change, right? You know, so you can see, or you're going to, we may tell people, you know, things are going to happen maybe around your health, particular things that needs to change. What happened?
Yo, these cards blow my freaking mind. Oh my God. Okay, because you know my brain. So he transforms into the Two of Diamonds in this spread for his year. The week he passed, he transformed into the Two of Diamonds. But wait, it gets better. The Eight of Spades is what's pushing him this year, right? Right? It's behind, yeah, it's behind him. I'm looking at your screen. But
Yeah.
what's crazy, the day he passed, he had the Nine of Spades in Saturn with the Eight of Spades as the vertical. And wait, it gets better. Because I'm like, where's the Ace of Spades in this? The holy shit. The Ace of Spades on the plate 37 for the week is sitting in the house of the Six of Clubs, where he's sitting for this year.
Oh,
Yo, my mind is blown.
You said age plate 37, right?
That's the week. Yeah, that's the weekly. Because I love, that's just how my like Inspector Gadget brain does. By like, I have to like keep, I connect the death is something that I've become. I've learned a lot. It's like research in my mind, because I like to see what the cards were for the day, the week, and then how in the year too. So yeah, it's like a research project, but it obviously in respect to the person. But it's just so powerful to see. It's just so powerful to see how these cards really like play out.
Yeah, that's a particular position in Vedic called the Barney position. I have it in Venus. So one of the things that I actually learned from, or I can maybe it says get popular from, is in the essence of looking and researching at topics of death, which is kind of weird because it's kind of crazy. So some of my major posts came from the death of Kobe Bryant and also another. It may have been Travis Scott. Um, that death, but that incident, right? Um. So yeah. So as we look here,
What are this? Is this 37?
yeah, I don't know why I have like look like crayons attached to them. 37. Make sure this is right. So at
Yeah, the
30.
six of clubs is in that. Yeah, the six of clubs is in the sun. The ace of hearts is there. That's right. So you'll
Oh,
see. Go ahead.
no, just the six of clubs in the sun is interesting as
As
well, right?
well, because he's sitting in the house of the six of clubs for the year. The ace of spades is not directly in his spread, but the fact that it's sitting in the house of the six of clubs in the week that he passed. And then the nine of spades was his card for the day. Which he had a nine of spades in Saturn and a nine of clubs in Pluto. Yo, come on. Like, what? Man. And the fact that the environment card is the two of diamonds, and he transforms into the two of diamonds in the yearly spread. And in this week his transformation card was the two of diamonds, which has the challenging karma card, the six of clubs for life. Like, I could be here all day with this. Like, I really could. It would literally take my. I could. That's the stuff I'll do. I'll sit here all day. I'm cuckoo.
No, yeah, you're definitely. That's why I said you're looking at these cards. You'll probably think you cuckoo yourself. Like what in the heck? How is that?
That's what
How
I
is
feel
that?
like. And what's
Okay.
crazy too, Rashad, I'm sorry. The result card for the week is the five of hearts, and that is the card he had in the 52-day period. He is in with the nine of hearts vertical
Said the result card is what? The five of hearts
for the week. And
for
if
the
you go
week.
back to the yearly, he was in his Venus period with the direct card being the five of hearts and the vertical card being the nine of hearts. Like I said, it was I think his heart. I think it's going to come out that, heart attack, but, due to, the influence of some illicit substances, because the Jack of Spades is there too. And I
So
think I've heard that they said they found, ample amounts of prescription pills, which is very much connected to the Jack of Spades.
right, we're talking about medication and
Yeah, medication.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. To
okay.
escape, to leave.
Mm.
So yeah.
And escapism and trying to leave also with that five of hearts being Neptune with the Queen of Hearts, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
that can also denote escaping, trying to run away from your issues or maybe your problems, emotional things that can become hindering, Also the physical trauma, that could take place or just him putting himself through maybe emotional, physical, those things. So
You
we
know,
go
it was also on an eclipse. It was on the seven of hearts, the eclipse. And when I was, in the astrology groups, there was he had a lot of 12th house stuff going on. It was crazy. And he has the seven of hearts the day of that. The daily card was the seven of hearts. And in his spread, the seven of hearts was his Jupiter card.
Yeah, this as we see here, the Seven of Hearts. So his daily card that day was the Seven of Hearts.
Well, the day he pat was a 9 of spades
The
for
day
him.
was
Yeah, personally, he
was
had the 9 of spades.
oh, it
But
was
that day, the day itself was a 7 of hearts day.
which was his Jupiter
Jupiter card for the week. Yeah.
displacing the Eight of Spades.
The card that's pushing him this year.
Mm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And that was the card supporting him with the 9 of spades. Crazy. And then they were,
And
remember how I told you how they were talking about in the astrology groups that I was, listening to the breaking down his chart. There was a lot of Neptunian, the 12th house. Well, the week that it happened was a Neptune week for him. And we know Neptune is also drugs and escapism and, that very going overboard, literally, so.
yeah, so that's why it's also important to look at those weeks. Like you said, it's kind of crazy. The eclipse happened on the seven of Hearts day, with him having a personal Nine of Spades, as Will said. So the Ace. So how's the Nine of Spades connected to this? Because the Five of Spades, the Nine of Spades is Mars for the Five of Spades.
Yes. No.
Mars.
No,
Yeah,
Venus. No.
Mars. Yeah, Mars.
Mars. Yeah, because 9 of clubs was first. I was like, I want to get it together.
So
Yeah.
that's an aspect of what makes that Ace of Spades mainly that powerful as well, with that death and rebirth type of thing. Spades and Mars. So Nine of Spades can also mean a cut, that happens to someone or something physically hindering, or accident that happens as well, or a death with someone close to you, relative, or maybe even personally, right? As we've been looking at and saying, with that Nine of Spades. So Nine of Spades can also be a birth as well. So it's not just a death, but
Right.
it's type of physical change or life changing thing. Even within the Vedic, they look at the seed of life comes from Venus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that Nine of Spades actually sits Venus, Uranus within the life spread. So the essence and power, like life and death, comes from that particular position. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe. Um, Barney, let me see exactly where that is as well in the Vedic sign. If anybody knows, so it falls in the Aries area of creation. So but in the regular, I think in our system, it would be considered kind of like Venus. So I kind of play back and forth as well to see how they play on that. But yeah, so as you can see, even looking at the spread, um, as we said, you probably wouldn't sometimes maybe look at the weekly. That may be something, if it's acts, it would be told, you know. So it is kind of hard catching those things. In hindsight, it was 2020 a lot of times as well, right? But that's why we also, like I said, it's a discovery. It's looking at the cards, looking at the meaning, and looking at patterns, And whenever JD said, "Oh, you only have to be right one time," it's a lot of the time. But
Well, and truth be told, I bet you if you were to go back to, 53, 52, like, look, everybody sits in these plates. Not everybody's going to die. Not everybody's going to pass, right? Because the plates don't change. The plates stay the same. You move, right? And so everybody sits in a 6 of diamonds. Not everybody who sits in a 6 of diamonds is going to, pass, or a 6 of clubs is going to pass. But I have seen that a lot, actually. But at the same time, choices. If he wasn't taking care of his health, he struggled with addiction. Being a 7 of clubs, on top of it, has that Jack of Spades connected to it for life. So they almost have to, it really is, because I've learned that card is almost like fighting your internal mind. It could be either the devil or an angel, depending on your self-talk, your mindset, and the things that you think and how you respond. And so and I talk about all the time how those 7s are extreme energy, and you live a life of drinking and partying and addiction, your body takes a toll, and eventually, like I said, you'll either fix it or you won't, right? And I bet you if we were to go back and study and look, and like, even if you look at the 7 year, he's in a Uranus year with the 9 of clubs. He had so there was a lot of, and the Jack of Spades is pushing that 7 year cycle, so it's there. It's there, and I think that's key too, and if he had someone who could have looked at this and been like, hey, if you don't, get your health right or take better care of yourself, then this is a possibility, especially at the age that he's at, and because of the 52 and then getting to that second Saturn return. It's why you see, like I said, it's why you see a lot of people who, if again, they have not been good to their body, have not been taking care of themselves, it's either going to be, you see a lot of men actually have heart attacks around this age, usually. So.
And definitely physical heart attack, or it comes from that. I think a lot of times is that 8 of spades, ace of spades, 5 of spades, um, and then in Saturn, Neptune as well. But I have to go downstairs. I have to get up out of here. I have a new gig.
You do?
Well, kind of, sort of. It started, like I said it. So I'm like a sub now, but going into
Okay.
Teach Start program to help you become a teacher eventually. Um, but my kind of focus would probably be like mental health,
Yeah.
because goal is going to psychology and mental health as well.
That's awesome.
But
I'm telling you, you having the cards too, you'll help those, you can help those kids tremendously.
yeah, especially looking at patterns and changing, like even looking at the 5 of spades, I've seen that someone with mental health issues needs to get out to walk. They need that constant change whenever they have with the 5 of spades. So, talking about the 5 of spades traveling, because that's what the 5 of spades is. It's 5 of spades read, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
rushing to travel to work, which I don't want to be late.
No, I feel you. I've been all over this week. Same. It's 5 of spades is definitely, being able to pivot, being able to adapt. Well, congratulations. We're not going to make you late. So we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely changed, right? So, yeah, we'll see you all next time. And I know we wasn't on that long, maybe about 30 or 40 minutes, but we may speak a little bit more about it next week as well. And will be a 6 of spades week, who has also an association with the 9 of spades, because it's challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll speak maybe a little bit more about this next week. But if you all have any questions, just let us know. I believe there was a lot of comments. I was going back and forth between the pictures, so I didn't really get to look at the comments. So if you have any questions, just hit us up on Instagram, and we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
And make sure you hit up Gina for her classes, which are still in session.
Yes, actually, I've already decided the next session. I'll probably start posting about it here shortly. It'll be December 9th, so we'll start another 8-week class. I'm really excited about it. This one has been going so good. So yeah, hit me up if you'd like any information. I can email you the information so you can get in on it. All right, Rashad. Drive safe. See you later.
See you.
Bye. Peace.